Good morning, my name is Paul Sanderson and I'm going to show you in this short video how to create a report on a Kik database, including a couple of simple joins, and how to import into that report some of the pictures that are stored in the as binary p-lists or within binary p-lists external to the database itself. So first thing to do with this is to open our Kik database. So we open SQLite file, accept the warning, and we should see Kik SQLite. We need to create a case file, so that gets created alongside it. Just choose OK there, and we can see the different tables that are within the database. We can click on summary tables and get an idea of just what's in each of these tables, should we wish to, along the bottom, but we'll stick with our main query at the moment. So first thing is to look at the Kik messages table, which I happen to know is where all the data of interest is. And if we scroll down through here, we can get at some of the fields that we want to see. I'm going to just choose ZUser, the two timestamp fields, and the Z body for the moment. So we can see as we click on each of those, the SQL query is generated down here for us. So if we now execute it, we can see the resulting table. We can see, to start with, the ZUser field has a number in it. That is clearly the number of the user, and to get the actual name of them, we need to bring the Kik user table into our query. So we can drag that along and drop it off there. And we need to now do a link on the two fields. Well, I happen to know that the ZUser field is linked to the primary key field in Kik user. We need to decide which field we're going to have from this, or which fields. I'm just going to choose one for the moment. I'm going to choose the display name. We can see that the SQL is being updated below. I'm going to remove the user number from the query, from the displayed output, and I'm going to just drag the display name back up to the top to replace it. Now we should see this query is updated when I run it, and the user number is replaced by the display name. Nice and easy. Next thing, we want to put something sensible for the timestamps. I happen to know this is a Mac absolute date, so we can click on that. Could now change the time zone and change the date format should I wish to. I'm not going to do that for the moment. And then we need to do the same for the timestamp field. So already starting to look slightly more user-friendly. Next thing is to include the attachments table. So we can just double click on that, which adds it. And I happen to know that this field is attached on the primary key to the messages table. And I won't go into how now because it's outside the scope, if you like, of this example. But we can put the message. We can work out quite easily how these are joined by just examining the table. And we want the Z message and we want the Z content fields from this. So we now run this query again. It's all updated, and what I can do is search on or sort on content, and if I scroll down we can see that some of these rows have a what looks like a GUID associated with them. This research has shown is the actual file name. So the next thing for us to do is to decode the content of those files which have the images within. So to do that, I've written a Python script, quite a short one. As you can see, just scroll through it. Not a lot of code. Opens a couple of databases and puts the information into them. Just a loop for each file name in a particular folder. I won't go through again this for you. It also calls another routine. I've got Standards of Forensics binary p-list up here, Python routine which actually decodes a p-list itself. Any of my users need access to both of these scripts, and of course they can just contact me and I'll send them across. So if I run this script, all it does is pops up a couple of dialog boxes. I need to navigate to the folder that contains the binary p-list. It's in here in the attachments folder. It then asks me where I want to create my case file, or where I want to create the output file. And basically the output file will be a new SQLite database. I'll call it attachments.db. which contains the decoded pictures, and I'll show you that database shortly. So save that, and the work's been done already. So now we've got our new database, we need to attach it so we can access the tables within it. So we've got attachments.db that we just created. Choose open. We need to give this a name. We get a nice default one of attachments. And now the content appears top right as additional tables that we can use. The table we want is the decoded preview. There are some icons in there which aren't of interest. And we join that on the Z content field on the message ID. And we want to include the preview within our query. Again, our SQL is displayed, getting slightly more complex down the bottom, but again, all done without typing a line of code at the moment. And then we execute the query. We'll sort on Z content just to make life easier. So down the bottom, we'll see some hex initially because we're displaying this as hex. And if we right click on that and do exactly the same, and we can now choose to show the content of that blob as a picture. So again, just quickly sort, scroll down, and we can see we've got some pictures in there. Not all of these content or files exist in my example, which is why some of them are blank, but obviously in a real case they normally would. That gives you an idea of what we can do. The final thing, we could, for instance, export this as an HTML report, which would include the converted dates and times and names and the pictures. If you have any questions, then please feel free to get in touch. Thank you very much.